Hey everybody, it's Pastor John with your Midweek Moment for this week. Three things I would like to cover. First, I've got a thank you, then I've got an announcement, and then, I've got an announcement that's also an explanation, I suppose. Well, it starts like this. The first thing I want to do is I want to say thank you to everybody who contacted me with your prayers and thoughts and good wishes last week while I was ill. As most of you know, I had to cancel my office hours last week because I just had a nasty cold. And then I worked from home. It wasn't like I was flat on my back in bed, but I really shouldn't have been out and around people. And I sent out that email, and a lot of you responded very kindly. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of those messages of concern and good wishes. And I want to let you know that I am feeling much better. I still don't sound 100%, in part because I'm still kind of congested here and here, but also because the cold left me with a really nasty case of laryngitis, and I'm still getting over that. So even though I may sound a little bit rough, I actually feel fine. And like I said, once again, thank you to everybody who contacted me with your good wishes last week. The second thing I want to do is I want to make an announcement, and the announcement is I am going to be on vacation next week. That is the week of the 16th to the 22nd. Now, even though I'm on vacation, we have two events that are scheduled to take place that still will. We will still have Bible study on Sunday evening at 7, and we'll still have our monthly book group meeting on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Those things had previously been scheduled, and I can do them from home. I don't have to come into the office to do them, so that's fine. I'm not planning on going away for vacation until the second half of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be around. So we will have Bible study on Monday, and we will have book group on Wednesday. We just won't have anything else. Now, the office will still be open. So if you need to get in touch with Barbara, of course, she'll still be here. And I'll still be available, for emergencies. I mean, if something comes up that I have to handle right away, just let me know. You'll always be able to get me by email. And the email address, of course, is fcckentminister@gmail.com. And I'll check my email a couple of times a day while I'm away on vacation. So if you send me a message, I'll be sure to get it. And if you have to, you can always contact Barbara in the office, and Barbara will be able to get a message to me. So I will be available, in case of emergencies next week. But, if you have something that could wait until the 23rd, that would be nice. So those are the first two things. Second thing, and like I said, this sort of starts out as an announcement. I just want to remind everybody that I'm going to be installed as the minister in the First Congregational Church of Kent. On Sunday, June 5th, that's obviously the first Sunday in June, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And installation services they're always a thing that I think creates a certain amount of the confusion or wonder in the United Church of Christ, because there are a lot of people in the congregations who really I don't know what installation services are about, simply because they don't come up very often in most churches. The fact that I'm being installed may have you thinking, well, wait a minute, you've been in the church, the minister, for 2.5 years. Does this mean you haven't officially been the minister? And of course, I've officially been the minister. I became the minister in the church the day I candidated here, and the congregation voted to hire me. And when I accepted, that's when I became minister. And then, of course, I became a member of the congregation when I joined the church. But in addition to being a member of this church, I'm also a member of something called the Litchfield North Association of Churches and Ministers. And in fact, it's the association that holds my ministerial credentials. They hold my standing as an ordained minister. And since UCC pastors have this sort of dual relationship, we've got clearly a relationship with our church as a pastor and minister, but since we also have a relationship with the association, because we're a member of that, a service of installation is a service that is done by the association. It's not done by our church. And it's sort of the service whereby the association recognizes the ministerial relationship that I have with the church. Now, back in the old days, back in the 17 and 1800s, installation services were a really big deal because they actually were the moment when you became the minister. Because in those days, even if the congregation hired you, you couldn't be the minister if your local association didn't approve you. And so the installation service sort of was the moment when you became the minister in the church. That is not the case today. I'd be the minister in this church, even if the association didn't want me, as long as you guys all did. But it's nice that the association wants me as well. And it's nice that we've got a relationship with the wider church. So that service on June 5th is a service, like I said, done by the association that sort of recognizes the ministerial relationship between me and all of you. Like I said, the service begins at 3 in the afternoon, which I know means you have to go to church twice in one day, but at least it'll be followed by a reception. So if you show up for the service, you'll at least get something to eat. And I want to encourage you to show up for it, because it's most UCC congregations don't have a lot of contact with the wider church. They don't have a lot of contact with the association or with the conference, certainly not with the national setting of the church. And installations are one of the few times when the local church and the association start to get together. And I think it would be nice if we sort of strengthened our relationship with the association. I know it's been a little rocky at times, and that happens with almost all churches. But this, I think, is a chance for us, for our congregation, to sort of get a fresh start with the association, maybe. So I'd like to encourage you to show up for that service on the 5th, because you'll get to meet some of the other ministers in the association. You'll get to meet maybe even some of the lay people from other churches. So it would be a nice, I think a great occasion, not just for the association to recognize what we have here at church, but also a chance for us to sort of get to know some folks from that wider group of churches, from that Litchfield North Association. So I want to encourage you to come out for that. Also, you may get a chance to meet some folks from the previous churches I've served in Connecticut, because this morning I sent out invitations to, 30 some people, letting them know about it and inviting them to come. I don't know if any of them will show up, but if they do, you'll get a chance to meet even more people. So I want to encourage you to join us for that service. So that's what I've got for this week. Nothing earth-shattering. I suppose more housekeeping than anything else. Just thanks to everybody who was concerned about me when I was sick. And just wanted to remind you all that I'm going to be on vacation next week, and that I wanted to take a moment to encourage you to come to that installation service on June 5th. So since I've covered everything that I've got, I guess that's all there is for this week. So thanks.